Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday Assembly, Los Angeles. I'm Amy.
And I'm Ryan, and we'll be the hosts of today's assembly. To start off, as some of you may know, Amy is the big boss. Sunday Assembly is her child. She's been nurturing it all these years. So when she asked me to host, she made it very clear that I can't screw up. And she said that if I do, they're going to implement their new excommunication policy that they just developed.
Okay, but I think mentioning the excommunication policy is grounds for excommunications. So you're out.
Well, it's fun, guys. Thanks.
So we at Sunday Assembly are a God-free community that celebrates a worldview grounded in evidence and reason. We invite everyone to join us as we do our best to live better, help often, and wonder more. Today, our featured speaker is a memory expert, and our theme is making every moment count, which is appropriate because last night daylight savings stole an entire hour of moments from us while we were sleeping. So thank you everyone for coming. We are going to get started with a little bit of music. I'd like to invite the Wondermore Warblers to the stage. If you don't know about the Wondermore Warblers, that's our impromptu choir here at Sunday Assembly. Impromptu is actually Latin for not very good. We don't. I mean, they have beautiful voices, but we don't rehearse. So anyone is welcome to come up and join the Warblers if you want, or shoot us an email, and if you want to come by next time. That we're here to remind you that it's okay to sing along, no matter what your sense of pitch is. Andrew Kelsey, however, is very good. It's his 4th time with us at Sunday Assembly. We'd like to welcome Andrew.
Hello, Sunday Assembliers. So, I don't know how the PowerPoint's going to go. I did a little bad thing and decided to extend this song a little bit and not tell the poor soul who's running PowerPoint. So, if you get a little confused at some point, it's my fault. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, and in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. You guys got the idea now? Because I didn't hear you enough. I'm sorry, I just didn't. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good times. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, and in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Yeah. Let's do verse 1 again. What do you think? Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, and in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, and in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Can I ask ask everyone, wow, this mic is really tall, to stand up because we're going to rock out now and we'd like you to join us. So everyone, up out of your seats. Thank you.
All right, so I was going to say something about this song. I know we've all heard it 1,000 times. But today I'm going to remove the nerd cloud. Actually, I'm going to place it on us, actually. Let's place the nerd cloud on us. Let's just cut loose and just enjoy this tune. I know we've heard it a lot, but let's sing the hell out of it. What do you think? Jack and Diane, two American kids growing up in the heartland. Jackie's gonna be the football star. Diane to be Tom backseat of Jackie's car. Sucking on chili dog outside the taste of freeze. Diane's got his hands, Jack's got his hands between her knees. Jackie says, hey, Diane, I'm turn the cheese. Dribble up those bottle growers, let me do what I please. And Jackie says, oh yeah, life goes on, long after the thrill of living is gone. Oh yeah, life goes on, long after the thrill. His thoughts for a moment, scratches his head and does his best James Dean. Well, you know Diane, gotta run to the city. Diane said, baby, you ain't missing nothing. Jackie said, oh yeah, life goes on, long after the thrill of living is gone. Look at that. Oh yeah, life goes on. Clap your hands, nice and loud. Don't let it rock, let it roll. Let the Bible belt come and save my soul. Hold on to 16 as long as you can. Changes come around real soon, make us women and men. Little ditty about Jack and Diane, two American kids doing the best they can.
Thank you. Thanks, Andrew. That was great. Thank you. Yep, have a seat. All right. Andrew's actually going to be back later today, and he's got a little something special he's going to share with us, so that's something to look forward to. So right now, it is time for the Sunday Assembly milestones. This is something that's a really cool thing that we do. If maybe some of you saw out by the name tag table, there are cards that you can fill out where you write down a life event, something that's big that's going on in your life, good or bad. And we bring those milestones up here, and we can share it with the whole community so that we can find out what's going on with our people. So first off, I want to get some birthdays out here coming up. So happy birthday to Keith Swallow. Keith Swallow, are you here? Yeah, happy birthday, man. March 6th was his birthday. Happy birthday. Then also happy birthday to Brooke coming up next week. Is Brooke here? Yes, there she is. Happy birthday, Brooke.
Sam and Tammy are celebrating their 13th wedding anniversary.
This one's fun. This one's fun. After 17 years of playing an old hand-me-down duct tape wooden tuba, Daniel finally has bought his own brand new, glistening, beautiful tuba. Hurrah, Daniel. Way to go, Daniel. Daniel, yeah, tuba. Congratulations, man.
In case you missed the milestone table coming in, does anyone else have any other milestones to share with us? If you had an especially good breakfast today, or birthday or special event coming up.
Just shout it out. Let's hear it. Anybody? Yeah. Congratulations. City of the Gods he just came back
City
from.
of the Gods and Stephen. He says it's beautiful and you should go. He said he just got back from City of the Gods in Mexico City, and it's beautiful and you should go, and he loved it.
We'll allow it.
We will substitute wander. Wander. Anyone else? Milestones? Okay, you can save them up for next month. That's acceptable.
Great. All right, now it's time for the Sunday Assembly LA Kids, where we have caretakers.
It's fun, though, guys.
Perfect timing. Thank you. A fun fact is the only paid positions here at Sunday Assembly are actually the caretakers, because kids are valuable and fragile.
I feel like it's an important.
So what you can do is you can meet a caretaker in the lobby right now, have some fun. They'll do some crafts, play games. And also, it used to be the Sunday Assembly sweatshop, but turns out...
Our lawyer said... No.
Yeah, labor laws in California are strangely strict.
Got a lot of name tags out of that program.
Yeah. It's totally optional. If you want your kid to stay and be with the grown-ups, please do.
I want to thank everyone for bringing items today for our item drive. We have travel-sized toiletries that came in for the Sunday Assembly Line program. Thank you so much. We'll be putting those together right after the next Sunday Assembly. And then next month, we are collecting. It's kind of confusing. We are doing the Sunday Assembly Line project next month, but the item drive will be for baby items like swaddles and formula and diapers and things that needy families with new babies need. So that'll be for April.
It's baby items, not babies.
Yeah, if you donate a baby, it will be promptly returned to you. Or.
All right, now guys, it's our famous icebreaker, world famous icebreaker coming up. So for those of you that haven't experienced this yet, This is the time when you get to meet somebody new around you. So this is what you're going to do. It's a little bit different this time. It's structured, a little strict this time. So what you need to do first is you have to find someone that you don't know. No cheating. If I see spouses pretending like they don't know each other, excommunicated.
Right.
So you find someone that you don't know, make sure you introduce yourself so we all get to know each other here. And then what we need you to do is get 5 very specific pieces of information from that person.
And we do have a memory expert speaking today, so afterwards there's going to be a little test. Right? So the information we're going to need you to get from your partner who you don't know are their birthday, their eye color, the last movie she saw. Hey, eye color's in there twice. That's not cool. Did you guys notice that?
Do it twice, I
favorite
guess.
animal is actually what I need you to remember for number 4. Their favorite animal and their, celebrity crush. That one will be easy to remember. Celebrity crush. And if you're a little too highbrow for a celebrity crush, it can be a scientist. It's fine, nerds. But we need 5 pieces of information. Birthday, eye color, last movie scene, favorite animal, celebrity crush. Go to it, let's pair up.
Do it, go do it. Yeah, don't be too excited about it or anything.
Someone you do not know. How'd that go? Okay. Did you get your 5 things? Okay, you ready for the test? Okay, you're gonna let the person next to you know now.
Drum roll.
Please recall your partner's name. Okay. Did you pair up with someone you didn't know?
How'd it go?
Did you remember their name?
All right, show of hands. Who remembered their person's name? Wow, you guys are
Good.
way
You guys
better
are
than
great.
me.
You guys are gonna
This-
ace this whole memory thing.
Wow, nice job. Wow, we tried to trick you and it didn't work. Hey, did you notice anything different about me?
Oh, Ryan, that's a really nice jacket.
Thank you. I stole it.
You did?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I stole it out of the Lost and Found,
okay.
where it has been for a year.
Oh, it's the lost and found jacket we've had for a year.
Yes.
Okay.
So, the color's off a little bit, so it's not for
I
me.
think it looks good on your
If
skin.
you know who it is belonged to, please come take it. Or if you don't know who it is, just lie.
It's a
and
really nice
and
jacket.
we'll
You can
give it to you
claim it.
anyways. All right, coming up. This is special. We have. Oh, thank you very much. We have a special performance coming up today. You might know him if you go to the Godfrey but Not Gilbert comedy shows. He performs there. It's Matt Kirshen, who will be doing a set for us, and you can also find out more about him. He has a podcast called Probably Science. So everybody, please welcome the hilarious Matt Kirshen.
Thank you so much. This is a treat. English, by the way, and this is kind of embarrassing. This is a bit awkward. I yesterday just accepted the Lord Jesus into my life as my Lord and Savior, and you're all burning in hell, but I also noticed there's a no camera zone at the back of the room for people who don't want to be included in the broadcast, but I now know, as of yesterday, that you people don't show up on film. So that sign's redundant. But still, it's nice to be here, and it's cool that you got this thing going as well. Like, you've sort of, it's a secular church. I get it, I like it. It sort of has the, doesn't have the God thing, but still has the church, aspects of communal singing and reluctant children. And it's lovely. Gina asked me to do this, and she told me that the theme was making every moment count. And I thought about that, and I realized that's a horrible idea. That's the worst. I spend my life cringing because every moment in it counts far too much. The reason I do this job is because I make every moment count. I dwell on every moment. I take every moment far too seriously. It's the reason I can't have a conversation with anyone without remembering something in my past and going, like that. It's the reason I'm stood in front of you right now, early on a Sunday afternoon, with a raging hangover. When I was a kid, I had a toy, and you might have had it as well, and it's like a rubber suction cup, and you turn it inside out, and we place it on a tabletop, and when it unfolds, it pops up in the air. And before PlayStations, that was pretty exciting. But there was another thing it could do, because it worked like a rubber suction cup, you could stick it to your skin. And I stuck it to my forehead. And I made a really tight vacuum, too tight as it turns out. What happens if you do that is it bursts all the capillaries in your forehead in a perfect circle, leaving you with a bright red ring in the middle of your face. And that ring will remain for 3 school days. And I wish I was the kind of guy who could own his own embarrassment. I wish I was, the kind of guy who could own his farts in a crowded room. That kind of person like, oh, it's gonna hit you in a minute. That kind of. I think that's why I like Americans. Because I think you collectively own your fart. That's the national mentality. Sometimes you go too far and become the kind of guy who pins you down and does it on your head, and that's bad, but I respect that. I wish I was that kind of person. I wish I was the kind of kid who could just burst into school the next day like, look what I just did, I'm such a dick. You know, what I did instead was claim that I tripped up and hit my head on a perfectly circular door handle. That was 23 years ago, and I still think about it enough to tell a room full of strangers in a hope that it's in some way cathartic. And it isn't. It isn't. Every moment of my life, the time when I was about 18 and I thought I was being sophisticated by finding a CD of Beethoven and sitting on the couch listening to it while sipping Baileys, like some grandmother at Christmas. I still think about my lazy eye as a kid when I was 8 years old, which I don't know if you know the treatment for a lazy eye, it's a patch. That's what they do, they put a patch over the other non-lazy eye to make the lazy one not lazy. That's it, that's the best that science has come up with in the 21st century. Like, I know there's scientists, there's probably some doctors, maybe some eye doctors in the room right now. That's all they've got. It's like something a Victorian nanny would have invented. Like, don't help the lazy eye. Treat it mean. Like, it's like a... And your parents try and play it off like a good thing. That's what happens. They're like, oh, look at you, you lucky thing. You get to have an eye patch. That's cool, isn't it? No one else has an eye patch. You're the only one. You're literally the only one in your school. It's always good to look different as a kid. It's always good to have the thing stuck on your face that no one else has. Kids like the child that stands out. You're going to double down on it from the eye, that thing. That's I've asked around as well, by the way. I've asked what various parents had. Some parents gave their kids the actual full pirate eye patch. Most, including mine, gave them a thing that looks like a leftover Band-Aid just stuck to the front of your face. Some parents thought they were helping their children by disguising the eye patch by covering it with a sticker of an eye. As if that's not terrifying. Like, off you go with your single unblinking eye, go on. With your one eye that moves around and the other one that looks like it can see through time. Act normal, make friends, go. What I'm saying is I envy you Americans who can make moments count and then forget about it seconds later. I can't, I dwell. I'll be dwelling on this. Thank you, cheers, bye.
Thank you, Matt. That was great. Gina doesn't let me preview that stuff, so I get to be surprised by it, which is wonderful. I'd like to introduce our featured speaker. He has had his work appear in over 60 peer-reviewed publications. He's the professor for the Department of Neurobiology and Behavior at the University of California, Irvine. Lord of Winterfell, Warden of the North, CEO of Stark Enterprises. I would like to introduce Dr. Craig Stark. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the invitation and for getting a chance to come on out and talk to you again. And I'd also really like to thank Matt for basically giving the comedic version of my talk ahead of time here. So hopefully you'll have a chance of actually at least remembering the take-home from it there. So last year when I was out here, I was talking about memory distortions, how your memory really can't always be trusted. And I'm going to be talking about memory again today, but I'm going to be talking about remembering information and also importantly about forgetting information. So if I were to ask you right now to think back, way, way back in your life to yesterday, can you remember what you did? I mean, besides the mundane things of I got up, I had breakfast, I brushed my teeth, or hopefully at least you brushed your teeth, hopefully we can remember these kinds of things. But as we start to go back further and further in time, our memory gets a little bit more fuzzy. So right now it's the 13th of March 2016. I had to check this morning to make sure I was on it. But yes, that is the date today. And if you could think back right now to what the 13th of March in 2012, what was happening? Can you remember any big events of that day, of your life, or other events in the world? Anyone? Yeah, probably not. I mean, that's years and years ago. And I mean, a big event like the fact that the age of the print encyclopedia officially died that day, because that's when the Encyclopedia Britannica stopped. Okay, we thought about it at the time, but it's gone. We can make it a little bit easier and say, okay, how about move up a year, March 13th, 2013? A whole year ahead. And yet still, most of us are like, I don't know. All right, well, that's the day that Pope Francis was actually elected. Figured perfect topic for the audience here today, because all of you would have a standout, I'm sure. This is years ago, and come on, we don't do that kind of thing, but let's just even go back just a couple months. So, January 13th, 2016. Anything? Come on, it's 2 months. Nothing? No, like 1.5 billion reasons why you should remember that? That was the Powerball. And even somebody in Chino Hills won a third of that. And by the way, no, he did not die from hookers and blow. I heard that. It's a total myth. That the weekend afterwards, it was hookers and blow, he killed himself. No, that was a myth. Okay, but this tells us something about memory. It tells us, as this picture shows, that our memories fade with time. They decay, the information just goes. And when I tell people that I study memory, pretty much the universal reaction is something like, oh, you should study my memory. I forget everything, it's horrible. And yes, they all talk like that, I'm not sure why. But the idea is that if we had a better memory, we would be able to hold on to information better, so that things like, oh, the name of that person would spring to mind instantly when you saw them again. You would never, ever actually forget where it is that you put this and had your spouse have to do the Find My Phone to actually go and actually retrieve it. We would be able to hold on to this information. We would be able to use our past more adaptively because we would remember our mistakes, we would remember our successes, and we would be able to go and do this. And it seems like a great thing that a lot of us would actually want to have. But the point is that there's actually a double edge to all of this. And that's the point that Matt was actually making. That forgetting can actually be a powerful kind of thing as well. But most of us don't think about that. We think about how great it would be to have this kind of memory. And there are people out there who have this memory. We've been studying them in our group, and we call them people with highly superior autobiographical memory. And they pass this quiz with flying colors. Let me just give you a little sample as to what these folks are actually like.
A 7.1 earthquake hit the San Francisco Oakland area on...
That's 1989. I remember watching the game of the World Series. I was like, oh my God.
Are you guys feeling a little competitive with each other?
No.
All right, so we see there are folks that can do this, and it's really effortless. Here's another little clip from this episode of 60 Minutes.
October 19, 1987.
It's a Monday. That was the day of the big stock market crash, and the cellist Jacqueline Dupre died that day.
The Berlin Wall falls on what day?
November 9th, 1989, which was a Thursday.
Christopher Reeve's accident occurred on what day?
It was Saturday, May 27th, 1995.
And when were the Oscars held in 1999?
1999, Sunday, March 21st.
Yes, perfect.
All right, so you can see this is just effortless. Louise Owen here, it just pops into her mind. And so to study these kinds of people, we've come up with these questions like this to try to see who it is, because it's a rare sort of phenomenon that somebody actually has this. And we have a lot of people who call in after they see things like this 60 Minutes and profess to actually have it. And when we give questions like this, well, if I were right now just to get all of you to actually do this, we would see that there's a distribution. Some of us are better, some of us are worse. I'm down in here. But most of us can get about 15% or so on that. We would see a normal sort of distribution like this. This is what data like this always looks like. And when these people call in and we start interviewing them, these people with this highly superior autobiographical memory, that's where they are. They are literally off the charts. They do so much better than the rest of us that we can say that this is a unique or a very, very different, a very special kind of phenomenon. One of the fun things about having done this study here is that I asked my graduate student if we actually had a nice sort of, let me see all of the data here. And I did want to actually share that with you because it's not that they're completely separate. In fact, the people who call us in, you can see that there are these two sort of peaks. This group up here, and we only really study the top half of them to make sure we're getting the sort of best of this. But there are also tons and tons of people who call us in who look indistinguishable from all the rest of us, yet still call in and say, look, I have a great memory, would you please study me? But it gets even worse than that. I pointed to where I am. I'm going to be down in here. I will have you note that one of the biggest bars of the people who call us in, people get 0% correct on this, and yet they profess to have one of the world's best memories. There is something odd with them. It's something different, though, and that's another talk. Okay, and it's not that they're making this kind of thing up. I mean, obviously, on the actual facts and events, we can go back and we can check and see when things happen. But even when it's just events in their lives, often we can go and check either through diaries or other public record kinds of things. We can see, and yes, even when we verify these things, they're not making it up. They are outstanding on this kind of information. So the question that we then have, is this something that is just all throughout their memory? And the answer is no. These people are exceptionally good at remembering the events of their lives, what we call autobiographical memory. Your successes, your failures, the events of the day. But if you do something like give them a list of 20 words and ask them about it later, no better than the rest of us. Hold on to this phone number in your head, and while you try to write it down, no better than the rest of us. Whole host of kinds of other sorts of everyday memory, they look just like us. Where they are off the charts is this memory for the events of their lives. So in terms of making every moment kind of count, they certainly remember those moments. But what's really interesting also about them is that they don't actually get more moments. It's not like the world is some technicolor kind of thing for them. It's that they hold on to the information a lot more. Because if I ask them what they did yesterday or the day before or anything really in the last week, they look just like us. For the last week, they look just like us. But the thing is that their memory for yesterday is really the same as their memory for a month ago. Whereas we are falling off rapidly and we are forgetting all sorts of information, you see that they've forgotten a little bit, but then they hold on to that. Right, we've tested all the way out at 10 years, they're holding on to this. And as I say, it's the events of their lives. Let me give you a demonstration of that aspect and also of the distance and time on this kind of thing with Mary Lou Henner. Mary Lou is one of the people actually in our study. And can you cue this video up here? It didn't automatically start.
We searched for footage of long ago events in Mary Lou's life to try and stump her.
October 26th, 1976. Okay, October 26th, 1976 was a Tuesday. Oh, I went to shoot a Ring Around the Collar commercial in Venice, Italy, and you saw a second and a half mooch out of Venice, and then the gondolier singing, "Up above I sing, tra-la-la-la, for you got ring around the collar." And I went, my powder didn't work.
More than 30 years later, dead on.
Wow, exactly. So, and you saw it took her a second, and she came up with this 30-year-old memory. And that's an incredible kind of thing, to be able to pull upon that sort of information. And this is exactly what a lot of people say they would love to have. They would love to be able to remember these things. I heard somebody in the audience, when they heard it was going to be about memory, saying, it's like, oh yeah, as an actor, wouldn't it be great? Well, okay. It would be great in many ways to be able to remember lots of this information. But there are other sides to this kind of thing as well. So, quick show of hands here. How many people think that they would want to have this sort of memory? And how many people, no? Okay, it's about evenly split. So a nice visual for that sort of thing as well. Because you have to think that, okay, look, you're going to be remembering all the good stuff, but you're also going to be remembering all of the bad stuff. And you also start to think, why is it that our memory is the way it is? Why is it that we forget? We evolved this memory system, and it's not the absolute pinnacle. We are not the pinnacle of evolution, but it has evolved to be adaptive, and maybe there's a reason why we actually forget. And we can get a little bit of insight, actually, from the very first contact we ever had with one of these participants. Sent an email to one of the people in our group, Jim McGaw, and the very first line of this very first contact said this. This is Jill Price. She wrote a book called The Woman Who Can't Forget. And she starts the email off saying, I have a problem. I have a problem. It's the very first line. My problem is that I remember every day, everything said to me, every place I went, every book I've read, every face I've seen, everything that I've done since I was 13 years old. My memory before 13 is fragmented at best. However, everything afterwards seems to be burned into my brain, whether I like it or not, with shockingly true-to-life clarity. Now, we've seen it's not actually quite as good as she portrays it here, but it's really, really close. And she does remember these. And yet her initial statement was, I have a problem. Because we can think of these kinds of memories as and it would be great. I have had so many times in which I know this person. Where do I know this person from? What's this person's name? They seem to know who I am. How am I going to get through this conversation? Oh, yeah, good to see you again. Oh, we've never met. Oh, oops. Okay. It does seem like it would be a great kind of thing. But there are plenty of times in which we know having a very, very good memory is actually a problem. And that forgetting is a powerful thing, and that maybe we evolved to be able to forget for good reasons. I mean, PTSD is really the poster child for this. You have a traumatic event, and you cannot get rid of that. It stays in your head, repeats over and over again of this horrible traumatic event that leads to a huge disruption, obviously, of your life and the life of those around you. But PTSD isn't the only one. When we think about drug addiction, we call it a drug habit for a reason. Habits are memories. You see things like these cues of the drug, or the drug itself, and it leads to the memory of this, which leads to the drug-seeking behavior, the relapse, etc. It's a lot like Pavlov and his dog. There's a huge memory component to it. In depression, rumination, having, again, these thoughts going through your head that you cannot get rid of, it's a habitual thing. Everything keeps triggering it. It has a lot of things in common there with PTSD. And then finally here, obsessive-compulsive disorder. You know on the one hand that actually you've turned those lights off, that you've taken care of this, but there's this habit, this memory that is compelling you to do it regardless of that fact. And we see links actually between this highly superior autobiographical memory, and there are aspects of this as well. In fact, there's a real link in some way, shape, or form with obsessive kinds of tendencies. I'm not here to say that yes, in fact, they are OCD and it's the same sort of thing. Don't have that as the take-home, but I want to show you one more video clip. This is Mary Lou Henner, who is exceptionally organized, showing you what her closet is like.
Exhibit A is Mary Lou Henner's closet.
I love organization. I like my shoes a certain way, right foot going this way, left foot going that way, so you can always see the toe and the heel on every pair. And you'll see that things are very color coordinated here, but in sections. And I always hang like with like, and I have the exact same hangers, because then everything slides more easily.
Okay, that's an exceptional level of organization. And we see that there are obsessive tendencies that run throughout this. As I say, it's not that if you have OCD, you are HSAM, or if you're HSAM, you're OCD, or any of these things. However, there is something about having this very, very strong memory, having these clear habits, and being compelled to do things. If you are compelled to hold on to your personal narrative, and you think about what happened every day, and you do this every day, for days, weeks, months, years, decades, it's going to lead to an incredibly good memory for those events. And this is the kind of thing that right now our lab is trying to actually unpack and figure out. But I want to leave you, though, with this notion as to what memory is for and what it's about and why we have it. This should not be your image of memory. It shouldn't be for looking back so that when we're old we can say, yeah, I remember when. That's not what it's there for. Memory is for the here and now and for making the choices that will guide us through our lives. It's so that our past experiences can let us actually be more adaptive right now. We evolved memory so that we can be adaptive in the here and now. so that our past can guide us. And part of that guiding is actually forgetting as well. You know, if you take our sort of classic view of our ancestors here, they're sharing information, they're sharing stories. They're actually trying to take bits and pieces from perhaps even, in fact, different events and tie it together into a story, into a parable, into some wisdom that they have extracted as a person, as a community. And that's what memory is actually here for. You know, Rodin called this statue the thinker. Google Image calls this guy who forgot something. But if you look at them, there are some similarities here, to the point at which I'm not sure whether Rodin is thinking, or whether his statue here is thinking, or whether he's forgetting. But my real point here is that, as Borges said, to think is to forget a difference, to generalize and to abstract. So that, yeah, he's the thinker, but he's also the forgetter. Because that's actually where knowledge and wisdom comes from abstracting across all of the trivial little details and bits, pulling out the core essence that we should be remembering and holding on to. So if you want to come up to me and say, after I tell you that I'm a memory researcher, you can say, oh, you should study me. I'm forgetting things all the time. Great. Leave off that last little bit about it being horrible, because your memory isn't horrible. It's adaptive, and it's a good thing sometimes to forget. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Stark. Really cool. We're going to have Andrew take it away in a second, along with about 20 other things. I forgot my shoes today, and my husband had someone go and pick them up for me and bring them here. So it's nice to know that that's a positive trait of mine. That's adaptive. That's what I learned.
All right, well, this is the portion where we do a song I wrote. This is a song that I wrote some years back when I was playing in a kind of a rock band. We never did play it because it was a little too country for the rock band. And I don't even really do country, but this is just what came out. Someone called me sir today. I looked around for my old man. I don't recall the last time I was carded or simply played in the sand. I've been thinking about my old crowd. We were always just a little too loud. I want to go back and do it again. Oh, I want to do it again. I want to be wild and foolish today. I want to do it again. I look at all the people I know. They're working hard to figure out which way to go. They want the world and they're paying the cost. They turn around to find that everything is lost. Seems like yesterday we were in school. Looking back, we behaved like fools. Come on, here we go. I want to go back and do it again. Oh, I want to do it again. I want to be wild and foolish today. I want to do it again. Let's abandon our burdens today and tell the boss we're going outside to play. Honey, it's been too long since you and I have been home alone. Everyone's at work and school. I really want to take advantage of you. So come on, let's do it again. Oh, let's do it again. Now let them come home and catch us in the act. Let's do it again. Come on, let's all just do it again. Oh, let's do it again. Let's all be wild and foolish today. Let's do it again. We're gonna give this one more try. Now let's all do it again. Oh, you know, I'd just like to go back and do it again. I wanna be wild and foolish today. Don't you know, I think I'd like to go back. I'd really like to go way on back. Way back to 2016, yeah. We all got together at Sunday Assembly, and Matt Kirshen killed the room. Yes, you did. And Dr. Stark made us all a little bit smarter, yeah. And we all did that awkward icebreaker that actually always turned out to be pretty cool. I'd just like to go way back and do it again. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Andrew. That was really great. Thanks. Right now, we're now moving on to our assemblers, or excuse me, we changed the name. It's Doing Your Best. It's where we invite a member of the community to come up and share a story that's going on in their lives with us. So I'd like to invite now Rosa Navas to please tell her story. Give it up for Rosa, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. Gina asked me to write it, so I'm usually good at just talking, but now I have this, and so keep me structured. So here we go. As a seasoned subscriber to LA Opera, I get emails once in a while about events and things that are kind of coming up. So last November, I received one regarding their annual community play. I decided to audition for the dance role just to kind of see how it went. The great thing about this community play is that everyone who goes to the rehearsal, commits to the actual rehearsal times, is in. So it's just kind of all-inclusive, which is wonderful. But most of you here know me. If you don't, I'm very involved, meaning I have a lot of things going on. My schedule is pretty tight, so what I ended up deciding was I was going to audition for the specific dance role. If I didn't make it happen, if I got there the first day and it just wasn't for me, it was like, okay, I have a million other things I have to do. So with that in mind, the commitment for the rehearsal schedule meant 8 Sundays from 1 to 5, 4 tech rehearsals week of after work, and then 2 nighttime performances. The first day, we were all asked to bring our songbooks and huddled around the piano to practice the songs. And that's when I spotted Chrissy. She had no songbook and was looking around very nervously. And I approached her with mine, and we just were trying to get in tune and sing. And then once that was over, and once we just kind of started conversation, I realized that Chrissy had intellectual disabilities. And they were calling us to the different roles, and I got a standing priestess, meaning not the dance role. However, the choreographer approached me because Chrissy and I had kind of clicked during the beginning of it, during the break, and said, do you mind being Chrissy's partner so that she can perform in this? And I said yes. And For the last 2.5 months, I made every moment count and made a wonderful new friend. I learned that the choreographer had a nonprofit for a dance company for people with intellectual disabilities, and Chrissy had been dancing with her for about 10 years. She also had a lot of people in that group that had a little bit more of could adapt a little bit more, so they were also part of it, as well as their parents, and so it was great to see that family interaction. And I guess my biggest thing here was that I realized at the end of this, which was just 2 weeks ago, that every Sunday since early January, from 1 to 5, my phone was completely off, even during breaks. We would sit down and I would have these amazing conversations with some great new friends and people. And what I learned from that is that it helped me get back to the one-on-one connection you should have with those around you uninterrupted. And I share this story in hopes that when we are faced with a situation that is a little less than ideal, let's just try to see the opportunity on how we can still make an impact for others, which many times it will also provide a very meaningful experience for ourselves. Gracias.
It's now time for our quiet reflection. And actually, I was going to ask Andrew if you could come and strum a little something for us during it. Great, thank you. It'll just be a few minutes of quiet reflection. And for today, I encourage you, since the theme is making every moment count, try putting all your focus into the moment. Maybe focus just on your breath or focus just on your heart beating. And since we do remember some things and some things we don't want to remember, as memories and thoughts come into your mind, acknowledge them and try just slowly letting them go away. Bring your focus back into your breath and experience the moment.
Now we're going to move into my favorite time and yours, the collection. Everything here is supported by your donations. Sunday Assembly, with the exception of the babysitters right now, is 100% volunteer run. So everyone you see working here today is volunteering their moments. And your contributions help pay for things like the venue and the insurance, the website, the coffee, some equipment rental. There's a lot that goes into not just the assembly every month, but the service projects and social events and annual events that we do. So we really appreciate your support every month. Your generosity has been enough that we've been able to continue doing this. So we are here because of you, and we really deeply appreciate your help.
So the boxes will be coming around, and then there'll also be people with square readers.
Yeah, if you'd like to make a credit card donation, you can raise your hand and someone with a square reader will come around to you. You can also always make a credit card donation at the merchandise table in the back of the room.
And I'm sure you've noticed these pretty green name tags that we have. It's because we're special. It's because we are special people. If you see anybody with a green name tag, it means they've signed up for an automatic donation every month. That makes them official Sunday Assembly members. So right now, as those feelings of envy rise up in you, take that to motivate you to go to sundayassemblyla.org and sign up for monthly donations, and then you too can be a member and get an amazing green name tag.
Which is nice, and I don't have to think about bringing cash or messing with credit cards, but
yeah,
whatever works best for you. So before we move into our last song, we're going to talk about a few announcements. We have always all kinds of stuff. I know all about this stuff. We always have a lot going on. You can always check those things out at sundayassemblyla.org. One of our service events that we want to spotlight today is an organization called Baby to Baby. March 25th is Good Friday. I know you all have your calendars marked. It's a big secular holiday, which we can take it back and do good. Also, I know some people have off work that day, but this organization, Baby to Baby, reached out to us and said they have an urgent need for volunteers. They have a lot of supplies for babies and toddlers that they would like to get to needy families, but they need our help sorting those donations and putting those into care packages. And so they set up an entire day for us to come in there, but we do need to have a large enough group of volunteers so that they can bring in their staff. So we're really looking for people to sign up for March 25th at, Terry, is it 10:30? 10 o'clock in the morning. It's just around the corner. So you can sign up for that on our website. And Terry Smith is the point person on that event for us.
And this month for our Sunday social, we're doing something really cool. It's going to be at the Old Muscle Beach in Santa Monica, where some very talented assemblers are going to be there to help lead us through things such as slack lines, acro yoga, just learned about that yesterday. Google it if you're interested. Flying rings, hula hoop. Rumors are maybe there's bull whips, possibly?
Bull whips happen, swords happen.
Swords
It's
happen,
really cool
so it's
time.
going to be crazy and a little dangerous, but fun.
It's not that dangerous. We're going to do it safely. Andrew, our musician, is out there often. Hoping we'd have a picture of him on the flying rings. Slackline and rings, it's good
Nice.
stuff.
And they want to make it very clear, no skills are required. You don't need to bring anything, you'll go there and get skilled.
And entry-level stuff, and it's a lot of fun, and get a little fitness in there. Or you can come and hang out and talk to us.
If you want to stay safe.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sunday, March 20th, and that's going to be from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and maybe a meal after if everyone's, jiving.
Yeah, if you like food, if you're into that sort of thing. We have a ton of events, like I said, on the website under the Live Better and Help Often sections. In addition to our regular discussion groups and scavenger hunts and game nights, we have a couple exciting things coming up. There is a trip to the Netherlands, to beautiful Utrecht, for the annual Sunday Assembly Conference. So you can meet up with Sunday Assembly friends from the over 70 assemblies throughout the world there. That information is on our website. We have Sunday Assembly is going to the Reason Rally June 4th in Washington, D.C. We'll have a booth there, and we're putting on an assembly the day after right there in D.C., so you can join us there. I think, who here is planning on going to the Reason Rally? Yeah, okay.
All right.
Got some people.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Hopefully, if anyone else wants to join us, sign up on the website. I should raise my hand too. And we have, lots and lots of stuff. Check out those events. Way too many to talk about here. But you can also sign up for those events in the table in the lobby.
Our next assembly is going to be Sunday, April 10th. Mark it on your calendar. You can RSVP at sundayassemblyla.org. Spread it on social media. Let people know. And then immediately after is going to be that Sunday Assembly Line event.
Right. So who was here for Sunday Assembly Line last year in June?
Yeah.
Was it fun? Good. It's going to be better this time, even better. Here's how that goes down. All of those contributions that we got for travel-sized toiletries, as well as some supplies that we have hoarded from last year, and all the cash donations we get to buy items in bulk are going to be here. Right after the assembly, we're going to get together, group up, talk about it. We'll have tables set up so we can all go down the line. Kids are welcome. It's like trick-or-treating. We make these hundreds of wonderful care packages, which then anyone who wants to can go to a different service project we have, the Greater West Hollywood Food Coalition, and deliver those directly to people who need them. We'll have music blasting. It's a good time with friends. We get together afterwards to see how we did, and it's a really wonderful way that we can help our local community together. So you can sign up for that on the site or just stick around after the April 10th assembly. And if anyone has been to the comedy fundraisers that we've been having, that Gina's produced in Burbank, all of the proceeds that we receive from that go directly to Sunday Assembly Line, and any donations you make on behalf of that project go directly to purchasing material goods for that project.
And as soon as the assembly is over today, we got some food in the back. It's being set up right now. There's got coffee back there. And then our comedian, Matt Kirshen, he has CDs over at the table there right in that corner, so please go check that out.
Check him
and
out.
then at 1:30, a bunch of us are going to head across the street over to the Oyster, grab some grub. So please join us there. It'd be fun to sit and
So
and
we're
chat
going to
with
get
you.
together for one more song. It's going to be awesome. But first, as we have learned, we will forget most of what happened here today eventually. So if you only remember 3 things, I hope that they are live better, help often,
One or more, great. Let's get those warblers
All right.
up here. Let's sing.
Thank you, Andrew. And yeah, let's get the warblers to the stage.
What a great way to start your week off, right? You guys charged? All right. Good. Hit, hit. Hit, hit. Come on, we'll do that 2 more times so everybody can get. Hit, hit. Hit, hit. When you're on a holiday, you can't find the words to say all the things that come to you, and I wanna feel it too. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing, having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain. Hip, hip. One more time, everybody. Hip, hip. When you're on a golden sea, you don't need no memory, just a place to call your own as we drift into the zone. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing, having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain. We'll run away together, we'll spend some time forever, we'll never feel bad anymore. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Come on, let's do verse 1 again. What do you think? Nice and loud. When you're on a holiday, you can't find the words to say all the things that come to you, and I wanna feel it too. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing, having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain. Let's go to the bridge. We'll run away together, we'll spend some time forever, we'll never feel bad anymore.